Tim Gillette computer. And hey guys, it's Tim Gillette back here with Tim Gillette Show. Another great guest speaking at Blog and VideoCon, Jake Ballentine. I got that right, Jake?
You sure did. Yes, you did. Thank you very much,
I hate
Tim.
that. I mispronounce people's names all the time, Jake. I think we've had this conversation before. And my last name's Gillette, and I say people cut it up all the time. So anyway, so Jake, I got to know you through Facebook, man. And It's so cool that I'm going to get to meet you in person. We've had a couple conversations and stuff. But tell my audience just a little bit about you and what you do for a living.
Yeah, so my name is Jake Ballentine. I'm from the great state of California. I've been a professional speaker now for almost 10 years. I have had the honor of speaking in 43 states across the nation, done close to 500 paid speaking engagements. And really now my passion is all around helping other people share their messages, helping other people make an impact and income sharing that message. And that all started because I had so many people asking me, how have you been doing this? How have you been creating this? How have you been doing this? Anyway, long story short, after spending a long time on the road, I know this country very, very well. After spending a long time on the road, the time came where my family was growing and it was time for me to be home. It was time for me to focus on, I have a little son, I'm married, and I focus on that. I said, okay, I need to not be on the road so much. It's time for me to be home. And that's when I started this Facebook community that I have, the Speakers, Authors, and Coaches Network, because I decided it was time for me to empower other people to go out and share their messages, whether they want to be speakers or coaches or authors or podcasters or bloggers or vloggers or whatever it is that they want to do. I refer to them as message-driven entrepreneurs because the principles are all the same. It's around taking a message. It's around taking a message and building a business around it. So I started the Speakers, Authors, and Coaches Network, and now we've grown to about 6,000 members inside of this group, plus the other outlets that we have on top of that. And we do events, we do a coaching program. We have all sorts of different things around helping people go out and share their message and make an impact and income doing it. And that's what I do. And that's what I've been passionate about over the last 3 years now.
Well, I mean, it so fascinates me when I get into what I'm doing. Same ideas, right? But like I got started doing, I went down the same path of blogging and video and stuff, and pretty soon people, how did you do that?
Yep.
You know what I mean? It almost becomes that thing in the coaching world when someone says, "How did you do that?" That in your mind you got to go, "Okay, I've got to monetize this. I've got to help them, but I need to make this part of my living." Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's something that Brendon Burchard talks about in his book, $1 Million Messenger. He talks about when knowing what to say or knowing what to build that business around, the biggest clue that you should listen to is when people ask you, how did you do that? How did you do that? And so I started a coaching business that was not around being a speaker, author, or coach. I started a coaching business around a book that I wrote called Your Number One Goal, a step-by-step guide to reach any goal of any size. And I started that at the same time as when I was speaking all over the country, and it went really well. Things were going very well with this coaching business, but yet so many people were still asking me, how are you doing this? How are you doing this? And what I discovered is, and I think it's really important to be able to morph and to be able to move and change things about. What I discovered was my absolute favorite people to work with were the people who were just like me. They're the people who had the passion to go out and make a difference. There are people who, the way that I describe them, everyone either has or should have a buyer avatar in their mind of what that buyer avatar looks like. And for me, it's someone who recently went through a personal development experience and now they want to go and share that with the world.
Cool.
And those are the people that I love working with more than anyone else. And that's when I shifted into that. And I said, you know what, this is what I want because this is where I'm having the most fun. And I think it's really important too, to love what you're doing and have fun with it.
When you bring up that fun thing, I like to ask, all right, just recently, I've actually voiced my life mission. All right. And it's because of working with the coach that I just worked with for the past 2 years that I actually came up with this. And to me, it's kind of big, but in our community, everybody's like, well, that's doable, easy. But to me, it's a big mission. And that's why we do our events. And we want 10,000 bloggers, vloggers, podcasters with a following of 10,000, making 10,000 a month. That's a huge goal for me. And I know you in our space, you go, oh, Tim, that's easy. I mean, but outside of that, you don't, I mean, that's became my mission. And I look at guys like you with what you're doing in the community right now. What is your mission? Do you have a mission statement like that?
Yeah, my mission for the Speakers, Authors, and Coaches Network is that what we're working towards is to make the Speakers, Authors, and Coaches Network the #1 free resource for new and aspiring message-driven entrepreneurs. That's our goal. We want it to be to where when somebody is starting in this business, they go, you know what? Here's the place you got to go. You got to go and become a part of the Speakers, Authors, and Coaches Network. Right now, the Speakers, Authors, and Coaches Network is a Facebook group. It's an email list, and it's a annual summit. That's what the Speakers, Authors, and Coaches Network is right now. Yeah. But you got to see, this is the foundation for the next level, for the next level, for the next level. And we're talking about creating something at the level of a National Speakers Association, at the level of the International Coaching Federation. We're talking about creating something like that integrates all these things. Because my belief is there's very few people who just want to be a speaker. There's very few people who just want to be a coach. There's very few people who just want to be an author. And there's a lot of individualized organizations for these. And we've morphed them together to really what it is, there may be some other things, blogger, maybe podcast, maybe whatever, but it all comes under the umbrella of speaker, author, coach.
It's probably one of the reasons I reached out to you to speak at the event.
And there's also there is some strategy behind that. It was like, well, sometimes it's good to be creative with your names, and sometimes it's good to just tell people what it is in the name. Hey, what is it? Well, it's a network for speakers, authors, and coaches. What do you think?
So I mean, you kind of touched on this a little bit, but I'm gonna kind of go specific on it. All right, the Speakers, Authors, Coaches group. Now I joined it probably I don't think I'm a year I've been in, but when did that start? And what was kind of the specifics to go, okay, we want to do this to help that community?
So it started just a little over 2 years ago.
Okay,
August 2017 is when the Speakers, Authors, and Coaches Network started. And like I said, morphing happens, things change, things shift. So I've always been of the belief that one of the best ways to get what you want is by helping other people get what they want. That's it. That's the best way. Now, when I first started the Speakers, Authors, and Coaches Network, that was not my same vision. My vision was to give people what they wanted, but my vision was not around becoming the #1 free resource for new and aspiring speakers, authors, and coaches. That was not the vision. At the beginning, my mindset was, well, I'm building my own personal development brand, and there's a lot of people trying to build their own personal development brand, and it's really hard to break through. And I thought, you know what? Here's all these people who want to share their message, but they're also the perfect listener, the perfect they're the perfect person for the personal development brand that I was building. I said, okay, for me, the best way to get known in this sphere is to start answering the questions that they have that I have the answers to. At the time, my goal and my idea was to siphon them from here to here. It had nothing to do with this. It was a way to get in front of people, and then they go, oh, by the way, who's this Jake Ballentine guy, and what is he doing? In the process of doing it, I fell in love with the people. In the process of doing it, I fell in love with the people, and I found that even though, look, let's be honest, even though I am a business coach first and foremost, 80% of what I do is personal development. 80% of what I do is about the psychology and about the mindset of success. 20% is strategy, because I can tell people what to do. I was on a call this morning with someone who just signed up for our coaching program. And what they said is, look, I know what to do. I'm just not doing it. And we're going to get into why they're not doing it and get into creating a plan that's going to keep this person accountable and moving. Keep this person accountable, but keep this person moving forward, not letting all those limiting beliefs come in that make us chase those different shiny objects. And so anyway, when it comes down to it, I fell in love with this group of people, and I found that one of the best ways for me to actually get to people and change lives for people is to meet them where they were at now, because they were asking these questions. And in the process of doing it, I have fallen in love with these people. and I decided to dive all the way in to the Speakers, Authors, and Coaches Network. Now, my ultimate vision is still about that person development brand, but I put that on the back burner over the next, that's going to be the phase 2 of this vision between 5 and 10 years from now, where the next 5 years is all focused on the Speakers, Authors, and Coaches Network.
Wow. So, speaking of community, all right, I know that, you're coming to our event to talk about community and specifically how to use Facebook to build that community.
Yep.
But I know that, when building community, and I've known it because I've been in this 10 years, I've been in this business as well, is a lot of people make mistakes in building a list, building community. What is the biggest mistake that you help people with? The biggest mistake you see them make that you're like, hey, can I tell you on this broadcast, don't do it?
Yeah.
Can you tell me that?
Yeah. The biggest mistake, it's a little bit of a, this is a broad mistake, but it encompasses everything. It's about being selfish. Mm-hmm. The biggest mistake is being selfish, because once again, the best way to get what you want is to help other people get what they want. Yep. Zig says, we can help anyone get we can have anything we want in this world if we help enough other people get what they want. And what I hear people say, I just had this conversation this past week, someone saying that they were saying, you know what, LinkedIn, it's just nothing but people selling things, and it just doesn't work for me. And I go, oh, that's cool. So what do you want it to do? Well, I want to be able to sell things. Interesting. Sounds like you're a part of the same issue. Yeah. See, when it comes down to it in our world today, so there's so much with automation, there's so much with advertisements, there's so much with funnels and those kind of things. And I'm not against those kind of things. But the philosophy that I have is taking an old school, completely backwards approach to things, where I'm not focusing on those things. I'm focusing on old fashioned, hand in front, shaking that hand, making a connection with people. And my belief is that people do business with people they know, like, and trust. So my job is not to convince them that I'm amazing. My job is to get them to know me, like me, and trust me. Yeah. And there's no better way for me to do that than to actually help them now before they've ever given me a dime. Yeah. Before they've ever given me a dime. And in fact, the same person this morning, what they said is, well, you know what? I trust you. I trust you because you've already given me so much value. So I want to work with you because I know you can help me. And sales was easy at that point. Mm-hmm. But what I see is, so two things. Number one is selfishness, trying to get, they're focusing on them first, and then their people second, where it needs to be the opposite. You focus on giving first and then receiving second. And it's not give and take, it's give and then receive, which is a big difference. Give and take is an assumption that when I give, I need to get something in return. It's I'm going to give knowing that something will come back and I will receive it gratefully. The second thing is actually living in a place of scarcity, because I hear this all the time. Jake, how much is too much? I don't want to give away the farm, because if I give away the farm, then they're not going to want to buy from me. I don't know. There's not enough. That's all scarcity thinking. Mm-hmm. That's all scarcity thinking. Here's when it's too much. Because I'll hear people say that, and they haven't done very much of anything, and they don't have a following at all. They don't have a community. They don't have people. If you have thousands of people that have come to you because of your free content, and they are having massive transformation in their life, and they just say, great, thank you. You helped me so much. I don't need you because you gave me so much. If that's the case, then maybe we can say maybe that was too much giving so that they're not actually wanting. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, you can give everything. You can give everything, because these people, what they're going to do is, number one, most people won't really take action on something until they invest time and money into that proposition. Yeah. Until they invest time and money and make a true commitment, they're probably not going to do that much. But the second thing is there is no better way to build know, like, and trust than giving, so that they go, you know what? Not only do I believe this person knows what they're doing, but I've actually listened to it. I've actually done something about it, and I got some results already. So how much better is this going to be if I keep going? So if I talk about mistakes, I'm not talking about a specific thing. It's a mindset of selfishness, and it's a mindset of scarcity. And I want people to go into whatever it is, whether it's a Facebook group, whether it's an email list, whether it's whatever social media platform, and truthfully, it should be all of those things. Mm-hmm. It needs to be coming from a place of abundance And it needs to be coming from a place of selflessness where you are giving, knowing that you will receive.
I love it. I recently did something, Jake, here in Dallas that most people think I'm a fool for doing it, but you brought up the giving. And there's a networking function that's been going on here in Dallas for 35 years. The guy is very successful. He puts hundreds of people in a room on a morning, like 7 a.m. I don't understand anybody getting up at 7 a.m. But anyway, first of all, but his name's Bill. I think he's going to stop by my event because he's in Dallas. And I basically reached out to him and realized he's got this great function. And I've been trying to build a relationship. And most people will like walk up to him and try to sell them on speaking at his event. I didn't. I walked up and I said, hey, Bill, you have top quality people. And I'd like to introduce you to 2 top quality speakers I have that I think would be great. They're from Los Angeles, though. Would you be willing to work with them to try to get them to come speak at? And he goes, tell me about them. So I told him their story. I told him the awards they won. All right. And I listed them. The 2 people I listed was Craig Duswalt and Larry Broughton. I don't know if you know them. But like I made introductions to this. And this guy, Bill Wallace, is all like in joy over me. He's like, I can't believe you put me in touch with an Ernst & Young's Entrepreneur of the Year for speaking. And you didn't pitch yourself. I'm like, no, I want you to see the value I can provide and bring to you. I'm here to help you. And that is going to help fill your room. And he goes, wow, I never looked at that. And immediately now he wants to help me. And every time I see him in a function, he wants to help me. And like most people don't understand, put their needs in front of your needs. I mean, exactly what you said, when their needs. And I love the Frank Kern thing. He says, actually show people you can help them by actually helping them. Yes. I always love when Frank says that. Yeah. Make your broadcast about helping them. Make your community about helping them, and show them you can help them by actually helping them. And I'm like, it is so neat. So to hear that,
it's show, don't tell.
Yeah.
And it's show them that you can help them. And one other thing on this before we move on is, I think it's really important that we take a cue from the rest of the business world. There's a reason why so much business is done on the golf course. Yes. There's a reason why so much business is done at a baseball game. It's because business is not about proving that you are the best. It's about proving that you are trustworthy through spending some time with someone. And maybe that's on an online basis where it's about, that content, but sometimes it's about, hey, here's a person who can get me in front of many people. Yeah. Well, that person is worth going and investing in that relationship, which it might be taking a meeting at a time that's not convenient. It might be flying to an event just because that person's there, or it might be inviting them to go and do something social. But once you become a friend with someone, once you become a real relationship with someone, the business side is easy. It's just like, great. Okay. So what can I do for you? What can you do for me? When I look at my friends, I'm like, if they ask me to do something, I don't go, well, like, let me look at it. Let me see what it is. Let me see. I go, great. Tell me what to do. I'll do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's it. When we actually find the value out there, we're willing to invest. And it's exactly what you've come up to with. So there's like 2 more questions I want to ask you here. One of them is what is the greatest thing that you can tell people to do, or what if they're starting to build a community? Let's do it that way. They're starting to build a community. Maybe they're doing a Facebook group, or they're starting to build an email list. What is the one piece of advice you'd give them?
My piece of advice is treat a group of 50 people with as much seriousness as you would treat a group of 5,000 people or 50,000 people. What I see a lot of people doing is they say, oh, my group's too small. My group's too small. And they feel like I will treat it seriously when it gets to a certain size. But it's a chicken and an egg thing. Number one, that's 50 real people. Yeah. And you just imagine, hey, what are you going to do if all 50 of them are in a room and you have them for the next 2 days? Yeah. Well, that's a sizable audience that you can work with there. Number one, it's real people already. Yeah. But number 2, the only way that is going to grow is going to be through providing value, because those 50 people, now we're talking about many of these people may be people that are influential in some way, shape, or form, but let's just say they're not. The average Facebook profile has somewhere around 500 people as friends. Yep. That's the average Facebook profile. Most of the circle I run with, it's significantly higher than that, but that's the average, is around 500 people. Let's just think about this. If there's 50 people in there that all have connections to 500 people, Think about how many people that is that they can get you in front of, that they can get you in front of, that they can share you to. Maybe they only have 10 people that are the right fit. I don't know. But your secret to growth is not about going out and getting as big as possible. Your secret to growth is about depth with the people that you have and allowing them to tell people, you got to be a part of this. Because when something's good, you tell people about it. When a new show comes out on Netflix, I have 5 different people that are my close friends that are into the same kind of thing that I am. And I'm going to text all of them. Have you seen this yet? Have you seen this yet? Have you seen this? Because they are my friends. I have other people who are my friends in my business circle, my mastermind team, those kind of things that are my peers. I'm not talking about the mastermind that I run. I'm talking about the people that are my peer level mastermind, where if there is something in business, some kind of business piece of content that I feel like I just discovered, I'm going to text them and say, you got to be a part of this. Check this out, what I just found. I am going to share it. The best thing you can do is to treat that small group of 50 like it's something that is already a real thing, already a big thing. But secondly, create something that is worth sharing. No one's going to share anything if it's not worth sharing. That's your top priority at the beginning.
Wow. Well, you've given us quite a bit of great stuff here. So I know, you and I have kind of talked about what you're going to talk about at Blog and VideoCon. Could you give them a little highlight of what your speech is going to be? Maybe a couple points that you're going to talk about at Blog and VideoCon that they may want to be there to hear in person.
Yeah, totally. So when we're talking about this, we're going to be talking about building your thriving community, growing your business through building your thriving community. Now, to be clear, this is going to be relevant to anyone with any type of platform. But for this specific conference, I'm going to be focusing on creating a Facebook group. Focusing on creating a Facebook group and using what I call the community growth business model, which is going to help you to bring in people consistently for free without needing to use advertisements. You're going to bring in people for free consistently. And on top of that, not only is it going to bring those people into the base level, but as you go up this system, it's going to bring you to the point to where you are bringing in consistent leads, consistent sales, absolutely for free, all through serving your people. I hear a lot of people say, I hate marketing. I don't like sales. I hate marketing. I don't like sales. Well, the beauty about this system is it's all about serving your people. You got into this business to actually help people. If you didn't get into this business to help people, then I want you just to close your ears during my session because I'm not interested in working with you. But if you got into this business to help people, which most of you did, this system is going to allow you to actually help people now instead of doing what is traditionally called as marketing. You're going to be able to help people now, and that helping is what's going to bring in your clients and get you to the point of monetization. Or for those of you who already are, take you to that next level of monetization. I'm going to tell you about how this isn't something that just came natural and easy to me. I refer to myself as a recovered spamaholic. That's what I was at one time. My business marketing 10 years ago was basically spam marketing. That's what it was. And I learned from sad experience that it wasn't the best way to do business. Wow. It actually worked. It did work. But I was burning bridges along the way. It wasn't fun. I wasn't enjoying myself. And I was not fulfilled. I wasn't doing what I actually wanted to do. And I shifted my business model around to be focused on service because I said, you know what? If this is what it takes to succeed, then I don't want to do it anymore because it's not fun. And I shifted it to a place of service, thinking that I was going to be taking the noble way out, taking a back seat and saying, you know what? I'm fine with it taking longer if it is doing things right. But an amazing thing happened. And the amazing thing happened is as I shifted to service, things came quicker, things came easier, and the business grew significantly faster and to a level that I never had when I was doing the spamaholic marketing. So it was a win-win all around. When you do the right thing, it is the right thing. And it's the right thing for you. It's the right thing for your clients. It's the right thing for the world. And it's the right thing for your business. It really is. And it's the best thing that you can do. So we're going to be talking about the community growth business model so that you can start serving your people and growing in your business.
Oh, cool. So, well, with that, like, I usually close up my podcast with this little fun thing. Do you like having a little bit of fun on podcasts?
I love having fun. I'm open for anything.
Okay. We do this thing called This or That.
Okay.
Where we throw 7 questions at you. You got to pick one or the other.
Okay.
And you got to answer all the questions. You cannot say, I'm staying away from that one. Do you agree?
Well, it depends on what the questions are.
Oh, no. We have 2 that are mandatory that people go, okay, why? But, we like to do this because
bring it on.
We like to have fun, right? I know.
Yeah. Let's
we
do
have
it.
fun too.
Yep.
So I'm going to have you about 7 questions here. All right. They're very simple. Number 1, beach or mountains?
Oh gosh, that's so tough. I love them both, but I have to say mountains.
Yeah. I love the mountains too. I love to visit the beach, but mountains is my favorite place. So beer or wine?
I don't drink alcohol.
Oh, wow.
I've never had a drop in my life, so I honestly can't answer that question.
Okay. So then if we go to this
Well,
next
I could say this.
What?
I used to play music professionally, and I enjoyed playing at the wineries more than I enjoyed playing at the bars. So maybe that's my answer.
Yeah. So that goes to the next one because we do this one, for those people who don't drink alcohol, they may drink coffee. So do you like your coffee iced or hot?
I don't drink coffee, and I've never had a sip of coffee in my life.
That's funny. It's just like those are the hidden there. So
I'm sorry. So what was the question? Okay, well, you know what? I don't like anything warm. I don't like anything hot. So I would have to say iced, because I don't like hot chocolate or anything like that. I don't like the temperature. So I would have to say iced.
So then we've got I'm from Texas, so we have, but we both are southern states close to Mexico. So this could go either way. Yep. Hamburger or taco?
Yeah, I love Mexican food. I got to go there.
You got to go taco. I figured. Yeah. A lot of people in the South they want to go to the taco. So
yeah.
All right. Spring or fall?
Spring.
Yeah. I love fall because I grew up in the Northeast and I just don't get to see the colors anymore. I miss
fall
them.
Is awesome too, but it's tough. We're in the fall now and I love it. Yeah. But spring is something really fun.
All right. So here's the controversial one that can start wars.
Okay.
All right. Toilet paper, under or over?
Actually, I don't know. I'm not that particular with this stuff.
I'm not either, but
I think it's over.
Yeah, I'm not either, but boy, my wife has an opinion on this, so I have to do it a certain way. I don't care, but
yeah, I think she does too. But that's bad that I don't remember which way it is. I think it's over.
I just if here in our house, what I do is when I run out, I just put the new sit it on and let her put it on the roller, however she wants when she gets there.
I think it's over. Yeah.
So that's our this or that for this. That's we. Like
okay. Well, there you go. That wasn't too hard. I was waiting for the killer ones.
No, it's all designed around to have a little bit of fun because, like I said, some of it. Sometimes we get too serious, and sometimes we get too funny. I like to do a mix. So
yeah, me too.
Anyway. So, Jake, it has been great. Tell everybody your website and your Facebook group. So for those people who watch the call, they can come join you and find out about you before Blog and VideoCon. Great. So head over to the Speakers, Authors, and Coaches Network. The best way to get there is either just to search that into the search bar or facebook.com/groups/speaker author coach. And if you'd like to find out a little bit more, kind of prepare before we come to the session, head over to speakerauthorcoach.net/guide. And that's going to give you a 7-step, 38-page guide that really gives you the basis of what I'm going to be talking about in the session. Cool. Well, I appreciate you coming by, hanging out with me this afternoon. I know you got a schedule just like me. All right. Busy. So we're out helping people. And I appreciate you coming to Blog and VideoCon and sharing some great and valuable information and for doing it here today on the show. So, Jake, I want to appreciate you, man. And I will see you soon, guy. You're welcome, Tim. Thank you. All right.